Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mozzie here again with you, and we have a special guest this week, founder of ECSI, East Coast Sports Investor, Jeff Dawson. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I apologize for the delay. I got a late call from a producer in Houston from our radio show on Sports Map Radio. And so I apologize for the few minute delay, but I'm glad to be here, guys.
Awesome.
All
We're
right.
happy to have you here this week. CJ, I know you wanted to touch in here, so why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Yeah, so, owning your own company with East Coast sports investors, what is that like? Give us a little bit of what you're doing with your company that's growing.
Well, listen, I could talk to you guys for 2, 3 hours and we could turn this into the length of the Titanic. I will give you the short version. In 2013 and 14, I drove in my Honda Pilot 8.5 hours from Cape Cod to Delaware to talk to a good friend of mine, a business owner, multi-business owner with the idea of East Coast sports investors. And I have 45 years of experience in sports wagering. My first wager was in 1975, Red Sox and Reds World Series. Kyle, you remember that, of course. And but my point is, with the idea that sports would eventually become legalized in the United States. Obviously, back in those days, you'd have a bookie from your barber, the local tavern, or you'd have to go to Las Vegas to place bets or offshore accounts. And I came up with the idea on Twitter, gambling Twitter. People were placing wagers. They were talking about their bets and they're clowns. And I'm like, I can do this. You guys have no idea what you're doing. So he agreed with me and he invested in me and he believed. So January 1st, 2015, we launched East Coast Sports Investors, light years in front of 99.9% of all the wannabes and frauds that are out there right now on social media. And in 2018, passed, legalizing sports wagering all across the country. And then it is where it is now. 30, 33, 34 states that are now legalized. Massachusetts, obviously, one of them. But we're excited. We have clients all over the world that get our information on a day-to-day basis. I am co-hosting on Sports Map Radio. I will be at the Army-Navy game on next Friday, Radio Row, from 11 to 1 at Gillette Stadium. We will be doing the show live on Saturday, and also just got notification that we will be live on Radio Row February 2nd through the 9th in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl. So big things are happening here. Sleep's boring. We got plenty of time when we're dead to sleep, so we're here.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. Who you got in the Army Navy game?
Right now we'll probably take the points in Army. Navy will be favored, of course. We're hoping for a good game, a competitive game. Hopefully it's not windy, rainy, and snowy, but we'll see what next weekend brings, Kyle.
Yeah, they all, I love when they go head to head. They always have a good game. So pushing it back to, so we know that you're involved with the sports betting, and we want to ask you more of a personal question on it. Are you more for when you're betting? Are you more of a fantasy better or a sports book better? Money lines? Are you looking at players individually, or do you do a mix of both? What are you betting when you're on there?
Our clients get information like a stockbroker. We're a sports broker, so we follow numbers. We believe in the numbers, not the logo on the front of the names on the back. So most of our information is predicated on sides, or we'll do team totals, or we'll do first half wagering. We've had a lot of success in the last year on team totals. Don't have to worry about who wins the game. Does the full game go under over? Just if Dallas Cowboys, for instance, tonight get to 29 or better, their team total's 28.5. So if you like Dallas tonight and you didn't want to lay the 9.5, or you didn't want to worry about does the game go over 47, As long as Dallas gets to 29:30 and above, you can shut the station off or you can go watch something else. So a lot of that is in the number itself. We do props. We have a service here and a company that we use that's real good on props, all the sports. Myself, I managing 17 high stakes fantasy football teams this year. 2017 was the golden year. We won not one but two national titles for the NFFC. As
Oh
you know,
yeah, I
Kevin,
remember that.
yes. So we won almost $200,000 that year. If it was this year, we'd win about 600,000. So we're a few years early, but we got a couple teams in the mix. We got the second to last week this week. So what we're trying to do, Kyle, is we're really trying to separate ourselves. If you dabble in everything, you probably In other words, find a sport, find a niche, find something you're real good at, whether it's soccer, tennis, whether it's college basketball, NFL, whatever it is, stick to it and really start to, turn the screws there, and you'll find greater success in one or two sports than if you tried to do 6, 7, 8 sports.
I think that's a great point. CJ, you have anything to say, touch in, what's going on?
So I just have a little bit of a question here when it comes to, betting and things like that. What are your ride or dies right now? Like, what teams are you looking at? What players are you looking at? What's the situation there?
CJ, every day is a different day. You're only as good as yesterday's results. So for instance, we have futures. I'll tell you a quick story where I have two daughters. One graduated UConn, and one is her second year at UConn. So we're about 2.5 hours from Storrs, Connecticut. But I ended up being a season ticket holder for the men's basketball team, even through COVID. And I gave away most of my tickets because I couldn't get to the games. But being a former Division III women's basketball coach, I love college basketball. I love the kids. So last year we gave out UConn at 16-1 to win the title. Well, guess what? They got on that magical run. They won 6 games in a row. All our clients, whether it was $20 or $2,000, had UConn at 16-1. So now we're in college basketball season. But before we get into that, last year we did the NFL. We had a ticket for Cincinnati at 13-1. We had a ticket on the 49ers at 14-1. When you got the playoff teams in the brackets, we had nothing on Kansas City and we had nothing on Philly. And we figured we needed a little something just in case the chalk came in, the two favorites. So instead of laying the chalk, we took Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP at 6-1. We took Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP at 4-1. So it happens that Cincinnati got knocked out, the 49ers got knocked out, but in the Super Bowl was Philadelphia versus Kansas City. And we had a 6-1 ticket and a 4-1 ticket. Now, there are no locks to win the MVP, but as both of you guys know, in the Super Bowl, 9 out of 10 times, the winner of the Super Bowl, the quarterback is usually the MVP. So we had a 6-1 and a 4-1. So we're this long-winded question that I'm trying to answer, CJ. We look to the futures market. Now, tonight we gave out some games in the hockey. We have the Wild to win the game at Nashville, plus 107. We got the Colorado Avalanche team total over 3.5, minus 110. So if the Avs get to 4 and Arizona beats them 5-4 in overtime, we don't care. We cash our ticket. And we got the Oilers team total over 3.5 at Winnipeg, plus 115. So if McDavid scores 4 goals in the first, I shut the game off. I already cashed my ticket. If they lose 8-4, boo-hoo. I don't really care at that point. But what we really try to do, CJ, is to extract plus money value. If a team's favored like the Bruins tonight, minus 500 to beat the San Jose Sharks, well, there is no way in holy hell that I'm laying 500. Well, I'm not going to lay the minus goal and a half because we have no luck in empty net goals. I'm not going to lay the only way I could get into the Bruins tonight is for them to get to 4 or better at even money. And if they win 4-2, 4-3 in overtime, we're happy. But laying big money lines, minus 200, minus 300, minus 500, you're going to go broke in this game.
I have another part on that. So for the props and everything, for players and everything like that, are you looking more to like star players, or are you looking more to like role players? Because the thing that I'm noticing when I'm betting, at least, is when I'm looking at player props, something might happen to the star players, so you got to look to like the second or third best player for it. That's like kind of the thing that I'm noticing. So do you like mainly go to the star players or the role players?
Great question, CJ. If you follow social media and you see everyone's on a certain prop, you're better off not to eat the chalk. You're better to stay away. If you go to our TikTok page at East Coast Sports Investors, you'll see probably about 8 or 9 clips down. Justin Watson plus 2,500 for the first touchdown, and it happened 2 weeks ago. So what we're looking to do, I'll be honest with you, on tonight's game, Seattle and Dallas, I stayed away from CeeDee Lamb. I stayed away from DK. I stayed away from Tony Pollard, Dak. I'll give out the 2 first touchdown props that we gave out. Brandon Cooks, who has scored in the last 2 weeks, he's plus 2,500 to score the first touchdown of the game, and anytime touchdown plus 285. And then on the Seattle side, we gave out the wide receiver from Ohio State in Jigba. He's plus 2,000 to score the first touchdown and plus 250 in any time. So staying away from the chalk. What was it, 2 weeks ago when the 49ers were on, CMC had scored in 17 straight games. He was minus 185 to score a touchdown. Everyone in the world had him. Well, he didn't score that week. So CJ and Kyle and everyone watching and listening to this, yeah, it's easy to take the stars, but you want to start peeling that onion back a little further. You want to dig deeper like we did a couple weeks ago in Kansas City and Justin Watson. We didn't have Travis Kelce and some of those other stars. And it feels better when those do hit because, hey, anyone can grab the chalk. We were in elementary school and on that chalkboard. You want to dig deep and get some more value. You want the bigger fruits.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Definitely agree with you on that. Moving on, we got a little more time left here. We got a fun question for you this week. So we did our own little research to come up with a fun little question that might be able to trick you or have a little fun with it. So we got a list of 10 teams or 10 cities that only have one team. And we're wondering if you can get all 10 cities that only have one of the professional 4 sports teams. We're going to put 45 seconds on the clock for you.
Kyle, I can't remember what I had for breakfast. And you want me cities with one team?
Yeah, out of the 4, hockey, basketball, baseball, and NFL. What are a couple of them?
Listen, I can talk till I'm blue in the face. You got me good here. You can run the clock. Let me see if I can get one here.
Yeah, we're going to run it.
Utah Jazz.
Yep. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. We got you going. Think Cheeseheads.
Green Bay Packers.
Boom. There we go.
Keep giving me hints.
Down south in California.
San Jose Sharks.
Nope. Down south. Near Mexico.
Well, technically, the San Diego Padres.
Yep, there you go. That's one. All right, go to Florida.
Uh,
There's 2 in Florida. We got 10 seconds.
Two in Florida. Panthers. Florida Panthers?
Nope.
Nope.
And all right, I give up.
All right. So in Florida, we thought we'd have some fun with that one. So in Florida, we had Jacksonville and Orlando.
Yep.
Then we had Portland for basketball. Portland Trailblazers. We had the OKC Thunder, Oklahoma City, San Antonio Spurs. A surprising one was the Memphis Grizzlies. We thought there was another one there, but no. And the Columbus Blue Jackets were another one. And then the Sacramento Kings were the final one.
I'll have to sharpen up my trivia skills for next time I'm on.
We thought we'd just have a little fun with it, you know.
So
we appreciate you.
My question is, out of all those teams, which one of them would you want to see get another sports team?
I would want to stay in the South. I think Memphis. I think somewhere around Memphis deserves another team.
Okay.
We talk about how big Nashville's gotten, and you got the Predators there, and then obviously the Tennessee Titans, I guess, are pretty close in that area. But I think that down south they do a good job. I do know, Seattle is supposed to be getting their basketball team back sooner than later. Obviously, Vegas is getting the Oakland A's as well. So I'd be glad to see Seattle get their basketball team back for sure. But yeah, I think the teams down south, they do a good job down there.
Thank you very much for coming by. I know you're short on time, so we have to wrap things up. But again, thank you for coming by. Hopefully going to see you some more on here. Good things to come. Anything you want to shout out before you leave?
No, CJ, Kyle, you guys are doing amazing work. Listen, I talked to Kyle at length, CJ. I hope he gave you the good report, not the bad report, on our conversation. Allow me to have laid the groundwork, for the 8, 9, 10 years that we've put together. And I look forward to the rest of December in 2024 doing a lot more work with you guys. I love where you guys are going. I love your dedication, your passion. Let's have some fun. Enjoy what you're doing. It's not work if we enjoy what we're doing. And I haven't had a day off in over 10 years. We got time to sleep. We'll be looking at the daisies at some point. It's not tonight or tomorrow. So have a passion, have some fun, enjoy the holidays. And I can't thank you guys enough. And I look forward to coming back more and more.
Awesome. Thank you, CJ. What last word? What's going on?
We appreciate you and all the help that you give us. So you're definitely welcome anytime, and we'll be in contact more.
All right. Enjoy yourselves.
Bye, Jeff.
Take care. Have a great night.
You too.